Welcome back to Popcord. Hello and Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for joining us once again. I'm your host Habib. Today's guest is Arinda from Lahore, a fashion stylist and a fashion marketer. Arinda is quite active on Instagram, where you can find her at Arinda Noor. We'll add that to the description of this episode. And today, Arinda will talk about what it really means to work in the world of fashion within Pakistan and how she wound up in her role. She will also shed some light on misperceptions that people might have of her career. So let's get to it. I'm sorry, I've never really seen your name before. Arinda?
Yeah.
Arinda, ऐसे pronounce करते हैं?
Yeah, you pronounced it correctly. So my full name is Arinda Noor. It's half Persian, half Arabic. Arinda means multi-talented. Noor means the one who brings blessings to your life. And Noor and stuff like that, yeah. You know, the first child in the family, so the parents really do take time to...
Achha.
come on the same page with the name, yeah.
The name,
so
yeah. No, it has to be a perfect name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's weird, I'm sure. You don't want a name that everybody has, but at the same time, you don't want a name that sounds super weird.
Yeah, that's strange as well. Yeah. So now my name is Arinda. My brother's name is Ibtisam, and my sister's name is Aisha, who's the youngest. You know, so she always gets super angry with her parents. ना कि आपने इतना thought put in किया अपने दोनों बच्चों के नाम पे मेरे नाम पे
Aisha.
ये क्या बात है?
Right. इसको बस साइड पे करो, Aisha इसको रख देती. Who knows?
So yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you live in Lahore.
Yes.
Okay, so Arinda, I'm actually legitimately interested in having this discussion actually because I really wanted to help people and myself understand your role, like what you do. Your Instagram shows, I think I read fashion stylist and fashion marketer. And I'm always curious to learn when I see that, how people wind up in those, like what got you interested in that, then what does that actually mean?
All right, so I would start with the first question. I'm 24 years old. So now number two. So this question, basically, it's really funny how I ended up here. Nobody in my family is, in arts or fashion or things like that. All of them are like doctors, engineers, civil services, or agriculture. So I was raised to become a doctor. So much so that my father had a printing press. I remember when I was a little kid. So जब मेरे घर मेरा birthday होता था ना, I remember dates back to when I was in nursery prep. So when मेरा birthday होता था, मेरे बाबा मेरे printing cards बनवाते थे. Sorry, birthday cards बनवाते थे. उस पर लिखा होता था कि we cordially invite you to our daughter's birthday, Dr. Arinda Noor. So that pressure कि doctor ही बनना है.
Wow.
It's you who matters at the end of the day. So I think that's fine. अभी आजकल के बस ये शुक्र है कि डायलेमा इतना ज़्यादा strong नहीं है because अब हम सभी पढ़े लिखे mostly and लोग, and we know what is good for us. I mean, majority of the time.
With regards to like medical school, at least the dynamic of that over here is कि मैंने कई लोगों को देखा actually that dropped out of medical school. It's actually very common here in the US. Very common because they, there's not as much pressure here in terms of like family pressure or anything to continue it or to finish it. So people change their minds all the time. So it's pretty common. I don't think I could survive a day in medical school, but from what I've heard from other people, you have to be really, really passionate about it. You have to like really want it to get to it. Otherwise it's a long, painful role.
Risk to yourself and the society. I'm sorry. Don't let people suffer.
Oh yeah, of course.
So yeah, that day I decided I'm going to do this. So first year in my university, I breezed through. Second year, so now in my second year, I again had I had a depression spell again. अब उसमें क्या हुआ कि अब मुझे होता था, अब I was living away from home because my parents were traveling those days, and then I was living in a hostel. तो उस depression spell में ये हुआ कि अब it was so sad and depressing for me at times कि मुझसे सोया भी नहीं जा रहा होता था ना. So I used to watch movies all night to a point कि जब मेरी आंखें ना खुद थक के बंद हो जाए सोने के लिए. So then I thought कि Allah Ta'ala is also very kind ना. फिर when he sees someone going through that much pain और कोई इस तरह भी हो कि कुछ गलत भी नहीं कर रहे हो, तो फिर he opens up rastas for you, you know.
Mhm.
So I out of nowhere मेरे mind में आया कि अच्छा अब summer है, अब my class fellows, my friends were all going for vacations, they were traveling, enjoying their lives as you know people do in summer breaks. I was like, I know that I can't be myself. This is self-destructive. What do? I said, chalo, theek hai, I'll do an internship. No one in my class was doing an internship that year. They said, we'll do it in the third year semester. So, but then I got an internship at Tony and Guy, if you've heard of it. Tony
Oh yeah,
Guy.
yeah. They're over here too,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah. My sister-in-law works for them.
Oh.
She's also a fashion stylist. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Well, that's cool. I didn't know they were in Pakistan.
Yeah. So they are in Pakistan. So I started working there. I had a really good time there. I was working right under the CEO, who's the creative director as well. So he was really helpful in a lot of ways. I learned a lot of things from him. So after my 2 months internship, I traveled as well. I done shoots and marketing stuff and PR stuff and social media stuff. I've done like multiple things, and they were really happy with me. अब ये हुआ कि अब summer break खत्म हुआ. I was back in my university.
Yeah.
अब what happened was कि हाँ अब university शुरू हो गई. 8:30 से 4:30 university होते थे. उसके बाद कुछ भी नहीं होता था करने के लिए. काम तो इतना पढ़ने वाला तो नहीं होता था कि जो मुझे इतना मेंटली एब्जॉर्ब्ड रखे. तो एक हफ्ता गुजरा, 2 हफ्ता गुजरा, फिर मैंने सोचा नो आई कांट डू दिस. आई हैव टू डू समथिंग विद माय लाइफ, आई कांट जस्ट सिट एट होम एंड डू नथिंग एंड वॉच सीजन्स ऑल डे और रीड बुक्स. इट हैज टू बी समथिंग प्रोडक्टिव. So I wrote to him. I said, I would really love to work with you again, but these are my days and these are my conditions because I am also studying. So he was really accommodating. He said, okay, start working again. So I was working there with my studies 3 days. I used to go 2 days a week, and then the rest of the 4 days were my university. And things turned out really well. So now I worked there for a year as the marketing manager of the entire Pakistani franchises. So I was handling this international correspondences, social media, fashion, shoots. I was the one who had a bird's eye view on everything. So it was a really good experience. अब वहाँ पे खत्म हो गया. अब 1 साल बाद I got bored. I said, now I want to do something else in my life. So I left job. अब उसके बाद क्या हुआ कि उसके बाद so this really terrible thing happened to me in my university. So sometimes you hear कि teachers फजूल में grudges रख लेते हैं. So in my university, the culture is really what do you call it, strangling sometimes. So what they do is कि आपका 8:30 सुबह यूनिवर्सिटी शुरू होती है, and before 4:30 you cannot leave. They just do not take you as grown-ups or adults. If you want to leave before 4:30, वहाँ पे तो guards होते हैं ना, they just do not let you leave. It's like as if you're in a prison कि आपको निकलने नहीं देंगे. It's not your will. So if you want to leave, सबसे पहले क्या होएगा कि your parents call the teacher, जिनका lecture हो रहा है. So the teacher will sign a paper, and then you take that paper to your course coordinator, and then that course coordinator will sometimes call the parents again to reconfirm, or if they trust you, they'll just sign it. And then you take the same slip of paper to your registrar of the university. So these 3 signs, and then you can go out of the university.
Wow. So wait, 4:30 p.m. This was Monday to Friday?
Monday to Friday, yeah.
Wow. So 4:30 p.m. you could not leave Monday to Friday.
You cannot.
Unless you got parental permission.
You cannot. No matter what happens. And the second terrible thing that they do is if you're absent in a class for more than 3 times, you struck off. I mean, you cannot take that course anymore. You have to come back the next year or in summers to clear that course. Okay. So I was working in my 3rd year. I could not keep my attendance up to the level that they required. So I flunked, I failed, and then I went back in the summers. मेरे लिए इतनी कोई बड़ी big deal नहीं थी. मुझे पता था कि मैं जाऊंगी समर में 2-3 हफ्ते का course. I'll clear it. I prioritize. If I'm getting somewhere even without my degree outside of this university, if I'm getting good jobs in international firms, people are respecting me, I'm getting good money and all of that. Why do I torture myself, with coming to university every day? Like, I did go to university, but then I was also kind of peaceful with the fact that chalo main summer mein aake apna courses clear kar lungi. So I went back to the university in summer, and now वहाँ पे ये होता है कि अगर उनको पता चल रहा है that you're working somewhere, तो वो कहते हैं अच्छा आओ बच्चों, तुम्हें तो हम बताते हैं ना. तो तुम्हें तो बड़े
Wow.
पर लग गए तुम्हारे, तो हम प्रिंसेस तुम्हारा प्रिंसेसनेस खत्म करते हैं.
Yeah. Seems unnecessarily strict.
Yeah, I mean, you're grown up. You're like 21, 22 years old. कोई
Right.
बच्चों वाली बातें तो नहीं है ना, स्कूल में तो नहीं हो आप.
Yeah. Were you at least allowed to go to the bathroom without permission?
Oh, so in my university, back-to-back lectures होते हैं. कोई free class नहीं होती, कोई games, कोई कुछ नहीं होता. एक co-curricular और extra curricular. No. So 8:30 से 10:30 तक class है. उसके बाद 15 मिनट का break है. Next class है. उसके बाद 15 मिनट का next class है. This is a routine there.
It's like a job, basically.
It is.
It's like a job with back-to-back meetings.
It is. And for 4 straight years. So yeah,
Wow.
Something totally unexpected happened. Us summer mein jab I went back to clear my courses, they failed me again.
Whoa.
For just to my friends keep telling me around me who were there with me at that time. जब देख रहे थे कि I was giving my submissions, I was on time, I did not miss a single class. They said they were just और मेरे मार्क्स मेरे सामने आ रहे होते थे, but when the result came, तो they failed me. अब एक भी मेरा कोर्स फेल होगा तो मैं आगे तो नहीं जा सकती, so I had to take a gap year. They forced me to take a gap year. अब in that gap year, I said, चलो ठीक है बच्चों, तुम्हें तो मैं बताती हूँ ना. फिर I worked my ass off like crazy in different firms. अब ये भी नहीं था कि I was asking for job. I had some experience at a reputable place, and then I was also studying some good degree. So people were literally calling me to take me on, you know. So I was working in a production house. That production house is an award winning in Pakistan, both Lux Style Awards and Hum Style Awards. Achha. So I was the main person there. I was the brand manager. And then I was also doing a couple of other consultancy jobs at the same time. So that really gave me the boost, you know, my
the experience, yeah.
हाँ, और मुझे honestly मुझे कोई regret भी नहीं था कि अच्छा चलो एक gap year लेना पड़ गया तो क्या हुआ.
Right.
वो हो गया. उसके बाद I went back to finish my degree. अब now how I've stepped into fashion styling. So at the production house, कभी कभार मैं shoots पे चली जाती थी जो हो रहे होते थे, तो मैं बोल देती थी अच्छा इस चीज़ को ऐसे नहीं करें, इस चीज़ को ऐसे कर लें, कपड़ों के साथ ये चीज़ नहीं जा रही, you know, why don't you wear those shoes instead of these, why don't you give her this lip color instead of these. So my people, the brands who I was working with, they started noticing those things. मैं तो बिल्कुल ही सोचे बगैर ये बोल रही होती थी ना बातें कि you know, ये कर लो. So they started noticing me.
You just spoke your mind and basically they noticed you.
So they spoke to my boss who owned the production agency. Okay, we want to take, one of these brands spoke to him that, you know, she has the talent. Why don't you ask her to officially start styling? Then I had a meeting with him. He called me in his office like, why don't you listen? I'm also noticing. People are noticing. So, you know, why don't you do it professionally? You can make good money as well. I said, no, it's such a huge investment. Styling, no. I am like a marketing graduate. What are you talking about?
So at the time you rejected it.
I rejected it, but then उन्हीं 1-2 हफ्तों के बाद I started getting calls from people. I wasn't even doing anything about it, you know. I wasn't even going to people and, you know, asking for job or anything. Then I thought, chalo, if so many people are saying the same thing, I should at least give it a try. I did my first editorial, I did a second shoot, I did a third shoot, and then I didn't even realize that those 1 or 2 shoots turn into, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 a month.
Wow, yeah.
And when did I start putting all my energies into it? And balls started rolling, and alhamdulillah, things are very good right now. I mean, I've done major covers of magazines, I work with celebrities. Yeah, like my Instagram explains.
Right. So do you work like freelance now, basically, or do you work through a specific company?
No, I'm a freelancer. Brands contact me, production houses, photographers, they contact me. Also, I'm doing a film from next month as well. So the director contacted me for the film.
Oh, wow. But what exactly are you doing for these brands and companies and the film, for example? What exactly is your contribution there?
So whenever you see a billboard, right, let's say a Sprite billboard. So the first thing that comes to mind, chalo, wo jo brand ka message hai, that communicates, right? The second thing, if you dissect things, you start thinking, "Acha, chalo, if the model is wearing a certain lip color, for example, when we take Sprite, तो Sprite पे थोड़े से pop colors होते हैं, popping colors होते हैं, ना, greens हो गए, yellow हो गए on the nails. So who is the person behind this? Who had the thought process of giving her this certain look, this certain hairstyle, this certain makeup? Who decided the clothes? So there's only one person who comes behind all of this. That's the fashion stylist. The fashion stylist tells the makeup artist to do a certain type of hair style, whatever the makeup is required. The stylist contacts with different brands. I am doing this shoot, do you want to dress this model up? Or in some cases, if the budget is good, they purchase the clothes, and then at the end of the day, the model who is on the billboard, she's a product of the stylist's brainchild. She's the stylist's brainchild. Yeah.
I see.
So everything that goes in creating the looks of any ad or fashion campaign, a stylist comes in.
How much of that job is hands-on?
So basically, it's me who has all these accessories, the shoes that the models wear on the shoot. It's me who arranges all the clothes. It's me who is collaborating with different designers to come up with one shoot. For example, एक होता है commercial shoot, एक होता है editorial shoot. Editorial shoots are unpaid and commercial shoots are paid. So in editorial, everyone works as one unit: the model, the makeup artist, the photographer, the stylist, the art director, and the brand, for their own portfolios, right? So it's basically art, the editorial, to come up with a masterpiece of an art, let's say. In a commercial shoot, ye hota hai ki everyone is getting paid.
Okay. And then one more thing, Aranda, I'm rewinding to like 5 minutes ago. Why did you initially turn this down? Why did you not want to come down this road?
Because number one, I was a business student, right?
Yeah.
And this styling is something which is completely different from business or marketing or whatever I'd studied.
Right.
And then I wasn't open to a new thing. Probably I was scared initially कि पहले मैंने medicine छोड़ा, फिर मैंने fashion marketing पढ़ के छोड़ दिया. अब मैं दोबारा से एक चीज नहीं शुरू कर लूँ. How will I justify it?
Yeah, like you said, you were a little apprehensive. थोड़ा डर लग रहा था, right? कि दोबारा अब मैं अपना line of work बदलूंगी तो क्या बनेगा? But at the same time, whatever you are really good at, whatever you're really skilled at, that's probably a hidden passion as well. You might not even realize it.
Yeah.
I would probably not be lying if I said you actually enjoy it now, right?
I do. I look forward to my shoots. I have one in a couple of hours as well. I think the best thing about it is that I am really happy about it because I'm one of the lucky ones. There's just a handful of stylists in Pakistan. There are probably 3-4 in Lahore and probably the same number in Karachi. There are not many stylists in Pakistan as well at the moment. Probably I am doing something
You're doing something right, yeah.
Yeah.
What are your hours like? Do you have control of your hours, or
no? There's no control of hours. That depends totally on the shoots. So normally a fashion shoot is finished. It takes a day or two, but then I get paid per day. I don't get paid per project. I get paid, for example, if a project is broken into, if they want to finish the project in 2 to 3 days, I'll still get my money for the days, as it happens with the models as well internationally.
Are there any gaps when you don't have a project? Sometimes, like, you finish a few projects for a couple of brands and then you're just kind of waiting for something to come in. I know a lot of other types of freelance roles are often like this, where you might have months of really heavy work and then, some months with nothing at all.
Yeah, there are gaps, but then those gaps are just in November and December mainly. Normally भी हो जाते हैं कभी कभार, you get a shoot after probably sometimes होता है कि आप महीने में, you're doing 5 shoots and sometimes you're doing 15. But then that all depends on the time of the year. So you see, mainly Pakistan की जो retail industry है, that targets summer. So what happens is winter में इतनी collections नहीं आ रही होती, तो collections भी नहीं आएंगे तो वो shoot भी नहीं करेंगे, right? So in summer, there's the workflow. Abhi January onwards till September, the workflow is going to be great. October में आहिस्ता होता जाएगा, November में और कम हो जाएगा, December में बिल्कुल कम हो जाएगा. So this is how it works out here, engagement wise. Yeah, but then the days that you're off, you take that time to, sit back at home, relax, rewind, heal.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And do some research.
Yeah. Yeah, so misperceptions. I know I probably had a lot, and actually the rundown that you've just given kind of cleared up a lot of questions. So that's really cool. Now I actually know what you do, and it kind of resonates with some people who've told me they're like brand marketers over here in the US, and I never understood what exactly that entails. And right, so you kind of shed some light on that line of work, I guess, within fashion. So that's cool. But then, what are some common misconceptions that you get from people? Yeah, do you get like stereotyped or anything like that?
I think I do get stereotyped, no matter how hardly I try to convince myself otherwise. Because let's face it, it is Pakistan. We're not a progressive society. We're trying to become a progressive society. At least my generation. But the thing is कि वो roots में तो वही बात है ना कि अगर एक लड़की नंबर वन if a girl is working तो सबसे पहले वो stereotyped है. If she's working in media, oh my god,
अच्छा.
girly, what are you doing with your life?
अभी भी हाँ.
हाँ अभी भी. Why
अच्छा.
not? Thank God we are sheltered. My parents are supportive. My family is supportive. But then once in a while, let's say if I meet my friends' parents, और जब वो किसी अपने घर वालों को कभी बता दें, कोई थोड़ा सा ऑर्थोडॉक्स भी तो होते हैं ना, हर तरह की फैमिली तो नहीं होती ओपन माइंडेड, तो तब मुझे फील होता है कि जैसे आंटी अंकल मुंह पे तो स्माइल कर रहे हैं, अंदर से पता नहीं क्या सोच रहे हैं, अच्छा तो ये लड़की शूट्स करती है, ये मॉडल्स के साथ काम करती होगी, you know, that's human nature. You can tell if someone is thinking something wrong of you or so वो तो पता चल जाता है. So yeah, I do feel that, and then I don't really for example, if I'm hanging out with the same crowd, I tell them very openly कि हाँ, I work as a fashion stylist, but whenever I am in a closed क्या कहते हैं, narrow-minded group circle, yes, friend circle. I don't have friends who are narrow-minded. कभी कभार you come across some people ना, because I meet so many people every day. So I try not to tell them that कि मैं क्या कर रही हूँ, so that what is the point of inviting negativity into your life? Everyone has to be careful. Every girl, no matter which part of society you are in, you just have to. You should be careful, because see, let's face it, it is Pakistan. You know, as I said earlier, it's trying to become progressive. अभी यहाँ पे तो जहेज पे लोगों को गोलियां मार देते हैं, जला देते हैं, तो हम काम तो फिर दूर की बात है, you know.
Wow. Yeah. No, you're right. But then in terms of like the actual work, तो ये stereotypes लोगों के पास हैं, you know, ये fashion में काम करती है, or you know, she's in entertainment or something like that. Is there any reason for them to have that stereotype? So when you go to work, do you get like discriminated based on the fact that you're a girl or?
No, I would. So the thing is कि जो stereotypes वगैरह है ना, वो सब उन लोगों में हैं जो अभी भी थोड़े से orthodox school of mind से आ रहे हैं, या जो इतने educated नहीं है. Where I come from, I think I'm very privileged कि मेरे around इतना I never had to face anything firsthand, you know, any stereotype. Also, the good thing about the fashion industry in Pakistan is that everyone, almost 95 to 97% of people who are working in the fashion industry are educated. So that really makes a difference. The stereotype, I think, वो इसलिए होता है क्योंकि see, fashion and media, I believe they're two different things. Fashion industry is very fast. It changes. It evolves every day with every new collection that the people are working on. In media, dramas होते हैं, films होते हैं, उनके long hours भी हो रहे होते हैं. हमारे पास long hours होते हैं, लेकिन इतने एक्सटेंसिव लॉन्ग आवर्स नहीं होते कि रोज ही आप रात को बाहर हो. नॉर्मली आई थिंक टैबू शायद इसलिए हो चुका हुआ है मीडिया, बिकॉज पहले पाकिस्तान में जब मीडिया इंडस्ट्री स्टार्टेड ब्लूमिंग, तब तो लड़कियों को बिल्कुल ही बाहर निकलना आई थिंक बंद होता था. जब बैक इन द टाइम व्हेन आवर मदर स्टार्टेड वर्किंग और व्हेन दे वर यंग, तब शुरुआत है ना ये मीडिया इंडस्ट्री. तो आई थिंक लोगों ने तभी इतने बुरे परसेप्शंस बना रहे थे कि ओ ये लड़की तो एक्ट्रेस है, ये लड़की तो फलानी है, ये फिल्में करती है, तो शायद उनकी वजह से इतना बुरा इमेज बन गया हुआ था. और फिर लोग उसको कंफ्यूज कर देते हैं with the fashion industry as well. They don't understand probably कि fashion industry is something completely different.
Completely different, okay.
Yeah, it's completely different. The work ethics are very good. So far, alhamdulillah, I haven't faced any bad thing which left a bad taste in my mouth. Nothing has. So I would say it's a very safe and good place to work at.
So itna zyada overlap nahi hai basically with the media industry. Yeah.
No. That's the media. Drama films are completely are different stories.
Right.
Fashion is completely different. Also, I do overlap हो भी तो कैसे हो? Fashion industry में photographers different है, media और film के directors, producers और cameraman different है. तो even if you try to connect the dots, तो overlap तो कभी भी नहीं होता. I mean, so far शायद मैंने कुछ एक दो commercials किए थे, उसमें film या drama के directors, producers थे. Other than that, I don't think it has overlapped abhi tak.
Yeah, right. But I mean, you kind of touching on the fact that obviously media ke kafi stereotypes bhi hain. I definitely don't know enough about the media in Pakistan, like their work ethics and, you know, their personal lives and whatnot to make any judgments. But mujhe lagta hai ki even if you keep the media separate, then you think about their stereotypes. Even those are very exaggerated sometimes.
They are.
मैंने कई लोगों को सुना है, yeah, ये actors इनका तो काम ही कोई और नहीं होता, you know, ये तो ये करते हैं, वो करते हैं, you know, इनके लिए तो सब कुछ. But I don't think that's necessarily the case for everybody in the media industry. No. Like not all actors and actresses. लेकिन वो अपनी उनकी दुनिया भी तो अपनी है ना. They're living a different lifestyle.
See, जब आप दूसरे किसी के for example आप किसी की लाइफ जज कर रहे हो तो फिर आप तो अपने नेबर्स की बैठ के भी जज कर लेते हो ना. हाँ, ये इस वक्त आ रहे हैं, इस वक्त जा रहे हैं, इनके घर में ये गाड़ी है, तो वो तो बस ये आपके अपने दिमाग में बातें हैं ना. अब what are the chances कि वो बातें ठीक हो? हो सकता है कि वो उनकी अपनी गाड़ी भी ना हो. You know,
yeah.
They could. I don't think assumptions से तो फिर कहीं पे भी नहीं जा सकते. बस मीडिया के बारे में assumptions इसलिए हैं क्योंकि मीडिया is public. लोगों को लगता है कि they are entitled to voicing their thoughts and you know their judgments aloud just because it's a public personality. Yeah.
Right. And I think what you're trying to also say is people judge their neighbors as well. But really, the point is that if they're judging the, let's say, media stars, film kid stars, and then they're judging their neighbors, they're basically just judging everybody that's not part of their lifestyle or circle or...
It's just हमारी सोसाइटी में जो चीज़ ऑलरेडी टैबूड है और एक वो अगर एक चीज़ ऑलरेडी इतना पब्लिकली इतनी वाइडली एक्सेप्टेड नहीं है और फिर वो ऊपर से पब्लिक भी है तो फिर बस वो स्क्रूटिनाइज जरा ज्यादा हो जाती है. People can't help themselves because they hate us because they ain't us.
वही ना वो भी बात सही है. Right. That's absolutely true. I think it's really true. Yeah.
अब ऑटोग्राफ्स किससे लेने आते हैं? इन्हीं सेलिब्रिटीज से तो लेने आते हैं ना. मीट एंड ग्रीट्स किससे होते हैं? इन्हीं के साथ होते हैं. लेकिन बातें किसके बारे में करनी होती है? इन्हीं के बारे में करनी होती है.
Let's say you hear some stories of like really, let's say really popular models. I can't think of any on the top of my head, or movie stars or anything like that, right? Yeah. Unki aap stories sune, or a lot of their stories are often like really remarkable. Like by chance, मेरी किसी के साथ मुलाकात हो गई और फिर मेरा काम बन गया. You know, by chance मुझे ये फिल्म मिल गई छोटी सी और वो हिट हो गई और फिर उसके बाद मुझे offers आए. You know, almost a lot of them are not just good looking and tall and you know. Talented, but a lot of like I believe luck plays a big role in it as well. Of course, it helps to be good looking, I'm sure, but you know.
Yeah, but then see, good looking भी अब वो अपना हर एक की अपनी perception होती है ना. I might find something which appeals to me, which doesn't appeal to you. You know.
Yeah, no, it's very true.
अब just for example, अगर हम एक set criteria देखें तो Bollywood में सब गोरी प्यारी खूबसूरत लड़कियां हैं. But then there are people like Rani Mukherjee, there are people like Vidya Balan. They're not gore, they're not beautiful on widely accepted
norms, right?
I love them. Those two are my favorites. But I'm speaking about general public.
Yeah,
कि लोगों को तो गोरा और प्यारा और लंबा पसंद आता है ना.
Yeah, by like mainstream standards in Pakistan and India, right? Gora means good looking. So if you're dark looking, if you're dark skinned, you're automatically out of the picture.
even though they fail to understand that the darker you are, the better, sometimes the better you look in the pictures. And unique to aap tabhi lag rahe hote na, because what is the point at the end of the day of doing a campaign or an ad to make it look different than the others in the market, right? अगर आप उसी सेट स्टैंडर्ड के ऊपर ही काम करते जागे तो आपका सिर्फ एक गाना क्या पीछे जिंगल आपका डिफरेंट हो जाएगा, बाकी तो सब आउटलुक तो सेम ही जा रहा है.
और ये पता नहीं, they press this standard on the women more. If you notice, even in Bollywood, for the actors, the male actors, it's often still okay to be a little darker skinned, but like Shah Rukh Khan is not the whitest guy.
Yeah, he's not here.
He's not the whitest Khan I've seen for sure. But you know, लड़कियों को इतना free pass नहीं मिलता. Rani Mukherjee is in there. A lot of them are in there because of family connections too, actually.
I don't study Bollywood much, वैसे.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, me neither. I stopped watching Bollywood a long time ago, really. कभी कभी मैं कोई फिल्म देख लेता हूँ. My wife is a big Shah Rukh Khan fan.
Oh.
So whenever he comes out with a movie, I have to go watch it.
Did you watch Zero?
Yeah. We just watched that a few weeks ago. Yeah. That was my first Bollywood movie after a long time. It wasn't bad actually. It got really bad reviews, but I found it better than a lot of his recent movies. नहीं तो प्लेन चावल ही मारता रहता है शाहरुख खान आजकल, काम की फिल्म नहीं करता. I really hope the Pakistani industry picks up though. I saw the latest Ali Zafar one. It was pretty good actually. I liked it. I was like, wow, yeah, the movie standards have really gone up.
Oh, Thief in Trouble.
Thief in Trouble, yeah. Like the acting, the action or cinematography, the way they showed it.
Yes, the cinematography, everything. I really like it. But वही बात है ना, my personal opinion was that it was a really good try, and we should appreciate it. लेकिन वही बात थी ना कि पाकिस्तानियों ने predictability को नहीं छोड़ना और गोरों को नहीं छोड़ना. Didn't you notice it was heavily inspired by Hollywood movies के अभी पता होता था कि अगले सीन में क्या होने वाला है.
Right. Oh yeah, no, it was not an original story at all, right?
But चलो, a good try.
For sure. But I hope it lays the groundwork to, get there. I mean, if you think about it, I think the revival era started like, वो कौन सी फिल्म थी यार? Was it खुदा के लिए?
Yeah. It was खुदा के लिए ना, शोएब मंसूर's film.
Achha. Yeah. But yeah, like just about 12 years ago, the first good movie started coming out. उससे पहले तो वो मौला जट टाइप ही चल रही थी.
Personally, I really want to watch one of those Maula Jat movies. I still haven't.
पुरानी वाली.
हाँ, जो मैं वो देखना चाहती हूँ कि टैबू हुई तो हुई कौन सी वाली मूवीज पे हुई थी.
Yeah.
Because I have no clue. You know, because these Maula Jat movies नहीं तो काम खराब किया था पाकिस्तानी सिनेमा का apparently. जो भी हम सुनते हैं वो उसमें यही होता है ना कि ये movies आना शुरू हो गई थी.
Yeah, a lot of the movies were just copy paste of Mola Jat or similar styles of dialogue and stories.
Yeah.
You know, गुंडागर्दी and धोती वाले बदमाश.
जट का पता नहीं क्या फलाने के.
Right. Well, I think it's on YouTube, so you can watch it. The old one.
I will.
It's not going to be an easy watch. It was from the 70s. It's an old movie.
I'll gather my friends and we'll watch it together. That's a good idea for a movie night.
Actually, it's not a bad idea to watch it now, considering they're making a remake, so you can keep it fresh in your mind while you wait for it, and then once it comes out, you can compare.
I think the other one, the remake, is also coming out this year. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know when exactly, but it's slated for this year.
Yeah, me too.
I saw the trailer. I got pretty hyped up. देखते हैं क्या कैसी चलती है.
The trailer was really good, heavily inspired by Game of Thrones, but still very good.
Game of Thrones, Gladiator, yeah. What are your long-term goals? Do you want to continue doing this, or?
See, my thing is that I don't plan because I think plans don't work for me. I take a day at a time because clearly I planned something for my entire life that didn't work out. So I think I just say I don't have plans.
You go with the flow.
I'll just try it. I'll just try to go with the flow and see what happens.
Yeah, no, that's good. And then any advice that you have for other people based on your experiences? You said, of course, you changed your pursuits at least 3 times in terms of what you wanted to do, and obviously you went through depression in and out and some challenges. So anything that you learned out of this, matlab, other people who might possibly want to get into some exotic fields that aren't necessarily like engineering and business and जो मम्मी डैडी चाहते हैं वो बन जाएं.
I hope I phrase it correctly, but I think लोग कहते हैं अपने पैशन को फॉलो करो, बट समटाइम्स जब लोग अपने पैशंस फॉलो करना शुरू कर देते हैं तो वो अभी भी अपने दिमाग में इतने दे, because see they're doing, if someone is following their passion, they're doing something for the first time probably in most cases, and they don't know what is right, what is wrong. Sometimes they succumb to the pressure around them, and then they start doing wohi run of the mill cheezein. I would say if you think that you can do something different with your life, just listen to yourself. Don't try to do what the others are doing. Basically, inspiration ठीक है, inspiration लेनी है आप जरूर लो, because we all get inspired by different things in our everyday life. But then again, what will set you different from the others is your personality or your take on the thing that you're working on. So just
be original, right?
Try to do that. हाँ, be original. पाकिस्तान में हर वक्त इतनी हेवीली फोटोशॉप तस्वीरें आती थी, लेकिन अब रिसेंटली ऑर्गेनिक तस्वीरें आना शुरू हो गई हैं. पीपल आर ट्राइंग टू नॉट यूज फोटोशॉप दैट मच, और बड़ी प्यारी तस्वीरें आती हैं. सो अब उन फोटोग्राफर्स की इतनी डिमांड हो गई है, उन मॉडल्स की इतनी डिमांड हो गई है, टू ट्राइंग टू बी एज ओरिजिनल एज पॉसिबल. सो आई वुड से, लेकिन इफ यू थिंक दैट फोटोशॉप इज योर फोर्टे एंड यू वांट टू डू समथिंग विद इट, डू इट, बट डू इट इन योर ओन वे rather than following set standards of anything that you're doing.
You hit the nail on the head.
I hope you have, I was going to say you have a good day, but I hope you have a good night of sleep after
you
this.
have a good day. All right.
Thank you. Okay, take care.
Yeah, take care. Chalo, theek hai. Assalamu alaikum.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.